Hi guys! So today we're going to be learning about a strategy called ART strategy, which means ask, read, and tell. So our objectives for today is that you will observe me doing the strategy on the board, and then you guys will be able to use it and apply it to the rest of this poem. So this poem is called The Survivor, and it's part of our unit plan for the multicultural unit plan that we're doing. So this is Marilyn Chin's poem, The Survivor. Okay, so first I'm going to show you how to do it. Then you will have time to independently do it on your own, and then we will reflect on your process. Okay, so you need to have the Ask, Read, Tell student worksheet. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to address the title, which is The Survivor, right? So when we think about that title, we're going to come up with two different questions that we want to ask that we will later then answer after we finish reading the rest of the poem. So the first question I can ask, I can say, who is the survivor, right? So I'm going to write, who is the survivor? Who is that person? And how am I going to identify who that person is in the poem? The next question that I'm going to pose is, what do they have to live through? What makes them a survivor, right? So what makes them a survivor? Okay, so let's go through this. It says, don't tap your chopsticks against your bowl. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, if I understand my sentence, I'm going to put a plus sign that I understand. If I don't understand my sentence, I'm going to put a minus sign, and then I'm going to reread it and see if I can slowly process what I'm reading. All right, so don't tap your chopstick against your bowl. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm going to put a plus sign right here. Don't throw your teacup against the wall in anger. Okay, so I have one thing going on here that is kind of uncertain. I don't know why the person is angry, so I'm going to underline this. Against the wall in anger, because I want to figure that out, and I want to go back to it to figure out why that person is angry. But I think for the most part, I'm going to put a plus sign here because I understand the sentence. Next one. Don't suck on your long black braid and weep. Black braid. So I think that more than likely this person is a girl, right? If she has a long black braid. So that kind of brings me back to who the survivor is. So here I'm just going to put girl. And I think that's a straightforward sentence, so I'm going to put a plus sign. Don't tarry around the big red sign that says danger. Okay, here I'm going to stop, and I'm going to put a minus sign here because I don't know what tarry means. I don't know what that word means, and I don't know what it means to carry us around a sign that means danger. So I'm going to circle this word, and I'm gonna come back to it. All right, so the next thing is carry around a red sign that says danger. What could that mean? Maybe it could mean that the girl is in danger, right? That's one way that we can think of it. But why would she be carrying around a big red sign, right? Don't tarry around. Maybe that means carry. I'm going to put carry right here and put a question mark. All the tempests will render still, seas will calm, horses will retreat, voices to surrender. I'm going to put a big minus sign there. I really need to break that one down, right? So, so now I'm going to reread this sentence, right? That's the other thing we have to, when we don't understand something, we reread it. And I'm going to put my whole attention on it. I'm going to underline words that I don't understand or concepts that I don't understand. So all the tempests will render still. What is tempest? I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to underline it. What is render? Render still. I don't know what that means. I'm going to underline it. Seas will calm. Okay. Ocean, right? Ocean will be still. I think I understand that. I'm going to put a plus sign here. Horses will retreat. Okay, I understand the logical part of that sentence, but I'm still going to put a minus sign here because I don't understand the concept. And voices to surrender. I'm going to put another minus sign here. Okay, so I'm going to start with what I know. I know seas will calm, right? I know what that means. So let's think about let's think about some words that might mean that. So maybe we have quiet. Maybe we have still, right? Standing still. So maybe when I come back to this, I'm going to say tempest will render still. Tempest. Where else have I heard that word before? I think I've heard that word before, and I think it means storm. So I'm going to substitute tempest for storm. All the storms will render still. And we talked about some synonyms for still, which is quiet, right? So maybe all the storms will be quiet. Seas will calm, right? They'll be solid, quiet, silence. Horses will retreat. Voices to surrender. So we're talking about something, if we want to put a name to it, we're talking about silence. We're talking about maybe when we go back to our question here, it says, what makes them a survivor, right? What makes them a survivor? Is it the storms that they had to face that are now quiet? Maybe. So I'm going to come back to my question here, and I'm going to answer it, and I'm going to say, what makes them a survivor? Maybe ability to live through storms, to live through life's storms, right? Through problems. Okay? So we've identified that this person is a girl, and when we go back to it, if we want to delve a little deeper into who this girl is, we know that chopsticks against your bowl, we know that this girl is probably Asian, right? Chopsticks. We know that there is some sort of oppression happening because we have the repetition of don't, right? So she's being told something, she's being oppressed somehow. So this is our evidence right here for the answers to these two questions, right? Okay, guys, so now that I've shown you how you can use the ART strategy, which is ask, read, and tell, we asked questions, we read part of the poem, and we told some of the inferences that we can make with the poem. So now what you're going to do is this is just the first half of the poem, so you're going to look at the second half of the poem, apply this strategy, and when you finish, you are going to share what you found with your fellow classmates, okay? So remember, ask questions about the title, read carefully throughout the poem and make your marks, and then you're going to share out, all right? And then after you do this, we'll do the reflection, which is that you're going to think about how this strategy, the process of how this strategy works for you, all right? Thank you. I'll see you. So you're going to take 15 minutes to do this, and then we'll reflect.